Hello everyone, welcome to the investment management class. We are doing unit 6 and in that we are solving problems related to the mutual fund or portfolio evaluation. So in the previous class we solved around 3 problems. Continuing to that, today also we'll be solving around 3 to 4 problems. To tell you about the problems which is different today, the kind of question which is being framed and asked. So on that basis, in today's problem we are going to solve. So when we say today's problem we are going to solve, let's begin with December 2014 Jan 2015 problem 12 scheme, and the problem number is 7B. Okay, we'll be solving that. So I'll just write here, it is December 2014 Jan 2015. Scheme, and it is problem is 7D. Question is 7D. So that is the question. So I'll just read out the question for you all, then we'll discuss. Pearl and Diamond are two mutual funds. Pearl has a mean success of 0.15 and Diamond has 0.22. Diamond fund has double the beta of Pearl fund, 1.5. The standard deviations of Pearl and Diamond funds are 15 and 21.43. The mean return of the market index is 12 and its standard deviation is 7. Risk-free rate is 5%. Compute the Trainer and Sharpe's indices for the funds and interpret the results. So this is the question. For this, first we'll write the given, because this is a kind of a bit different. So we'll write the given first. I'll write the given here. What we need RP. Here RP means I'll say, okay, I'll write Pearl and Diamond. So RP of Pearl and Diamond I'll write. So Pearl is 0.15. So that I'll take 15 and 22. Then we need standard deviation P of Pearl and Diamond. So let's see how much it is. So the data as per it is given, it is 15 and 21.43. 15 and 21.43. Then they have given beta. So this beta is different. Okay, there is a twist in the beta. I'll read out the line once again. Diamond fund has double the beta of Pearl fund, 1.5. So it means that the Pearl fund is 1.5 and Diamond is double of it, which is 3. Okay, you have to understand the sentence. Then RF is 5. Then what information they have given? Market index, return on market index, that is RM. RM is 12 and standard deviation is 7. So standard deviation M is 7. So I have written the given information on the board. Now let's start doing the problem. So they have asked only Sharpe and Trainer's measure and to interpret the results. So let's begin with Sharpe. Okay, the formula is RP minus RF divided by standard deviation P. So first is Pearl. Pearl RP is 15 minus RF is 5 divided by standard deviation of Pearl is 15. Okay, so let's do this. 10 divided by 15. You get 0.67. Okay, let's go to Diamond. Diamond, the return is 22 minus 5 divided by 21.43. So 22 minus 5 is 17 divided by 21.43. You get 0.79. So this is the answer for Sharpe's measure. Let's move on to the next one, which is Trainer's measure. I'll write Rp minus Rf divided by beta. Okay, to start with Pearl Fund, Rp is 15 minus 5 divided by beta of Pearl Fund we have already calculated and written 1.5. So it is 10 divided by 1.5, you get around 6.67. 6.67. And next is Diamond Fund. It is 22 minus 5 divided by Diamond Fund beta is 3. So it is 17 divided by 3. This 5.67. So they have said that compute Sharpe and Trainer's index for the funds and interpret the results. So if we put this in the form of a table, so here I'll write the funds, Pearl and Diamond. Okay, this is Sharpe and this is Trainer. I'll write the answer 0.67 and 0.79. And here it is 6.67 and 5.67. So I've written the answers. Okay, now we have to interpret the results. To interpret the results, important is we have to do the ranking. So when we do the ranking, this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 1 and this is 2. So here you can observe that in Sharpe's measure, Diamond Fund has got the first ranking, and in Pearl Fund, in Trainer's measure, Pearl Fund has got the first ranking. So both the funds are good and you can invest in that. But if you have to pick any one of the fund, then you can, there are two methods of doing it. One method is where you can use Jensen's measure, and in that you can calculate. And if you calculate Jensen's measure, Diamond can be selected. Based on that you can do, or else you can also, here if there are 3 funds, then we could have gone for secondary ranking. But as there are no 3 funds, you can pick any of the fund for returns. Okay, but both are good enough for investment. Okay, if you have to have a comparison, you can go for both the funds, or else you can do Jensen's measure in order to get the right answer. I will show Jensen's also so that you can understand. So for this, if we do, Rp is 15, Rf is 5, plus beta is 1.5, Rm is 12 minus 5 again. So 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 into 1.5, you get 10.5, plus 5, you get 15.5. 15 minus 15.5, you get is minus 0.5. Okay, in the same way you can do it for the next fund also, Diamond Fund. Diamond Fund is 22 minus 5 plus 3 is the beta, 12 minus 5. Okay, so 12 minus 5 is 7. 7 into 3, 21. 21 plus 5, 26. So 22 minus 26 you get is minus 4. So both the answers which you have got is minus. So minus 0.5 is better. Okay. So you can even write Jensen's measure here and write the answers minus 0.5 and minus 4. Hence you can select here when it is minus, the one with the less we get the first ranking. First and this is second. So you can conclude that you can invest in Pearl Fund. Okay. So now you get a clarity if you do Jensen. Okay, there will be no doubts. If they ask to invest in any one of the fund, you can do this. Okay. So let's go to next problem. Okay. I'll just rub this. Now we'll be doing a similar kind of problem. That is from December 2011, 05 scheme, question number 7C. Yeah, December 2011, 05 scheme. Question number 7C, I guess. 7C, I'll just say the question. Yeah, 7C. I'll read out the question for you. XYZ and ABC are two mutual funds. XYZ has a simple mean of success 0.13 and ABC 0.18 with a riskier fund ABC having double the beta at 2 as fund XYZ. The respective standard deviations are 15% of ABC, 19% of XYZ. The mean return for market index is 0.12 while the risk-free rate is 8%. Compute the Jensen's index for each fund, compute the Trainer index for each fund, compute the Sharpe's index for each fund, interpret the results in comparison. So this is the problem. Now let's write the given first. Okay, this was the previous problems given. I'll just rub this and I'll write the current problems given. So the company names are also changed. It is ABC and XYZ. XYZ and ABC. XYZ and ABC. XYZ and ABC. Let's see the question again. So write the given. So they have two mutual funds. XYZ have a sample mean of 13 and 18. 13 and 18. Next they are saying that beta will do it at the end. Standard deviation they are saying is 15 and 19. 15 and 19. Then they are saying that the mean return of market index is 12 and risk-free rate is 12 and risk-free rate is 8. They have not given standard deviation in this standard deviation of market. They have given only return, which we have written 12, and risk-free rate they have given 8. Okay, when we come to the beta, they are saying that with a riskier fund ABC having double the beta at 2. So at 2 when it comes, this is ABC at 2 and ABC has having double the beta at 2 means ABC has 2 the beta and XYZ has got half of it. There are two terms when we use beta at and beta by. So when we use beta at double the beta at 2, it means half should be for the other. Double the beta at 2. ABC is at 2 and it is double. So you have to take XYZ as half. When we say it is beta by, then there it was 1.5, it means you have to double it. You have to double it for the other one, which means 3. So you should be careful with beta at and beta by. Okay, so we have got the given. So double the beta at 2 means ABC has 2, which is double. So you have to take the half of it. So here they have asked all three, Sharpe, Trainer and Jensen. Let's do the Sharpe first. RP minus RF divided by standard deviation P. So first I'll be doing XYZ, which is 13 minus 8 divided by standard deviation is 15. So let's do the calculation. 13 minus 8 is 5 divided by 15. You get is 0.33. In the same way, you are going to do ABC. ABC is 18 minus 8 divided by 19. So 10 divided by 19, you get 0.526. So I will take 53. Okay. So this is Sharpe. Next is Trainer. So Trainer's measure, it is RP minus RF divided by beta P. So first is XYZ fund, 13 minus 8, the beta of XYZ is 1. So the answer is 13 minus 8, that is 5 minus divided by 1 is 5. Okay. The next is ABC. Here it is 18 minus 8 divided by beta is 2. So 10 divided by 2 we get, it is 5. Okay. So Sharpe's measure and Trainer's measure we have already done. So now we have to do Jensen's measure. So before going to Jensen's measure, what we'll do is, we'll put the table, prepare the table for Sharpe and Trainer, then later on add the answer of Jensen. So hope so you have understood these two. Let's prepare a table for this. So this is the fund. It is A, X, Y, Z and A, B, C. This is 0.33 and this is 0.53. This is Sharpe, this is Trainer and this is fund. Okay, let's do the Jensen's measure. Let's do the Jensen's measure. Jensen's measure. So I'll write the formula for that. RF plus beta, RM minus RF. Okay, so it is XYZ, RP is 13 minus RF is 8 plus beta is 1, RM is 12 minus 8. Okay, when you simplify, 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 into 1 is 4 plus 8, it is 12. Okay, so 13 minus 12 is equal to 1. Done. Okay, we'll go to ABC. So ABC is same formula, 18, right? Written as 18 minus 8 plus beta is 2, 12 minus 8. Okay, so to simplify this, 12 minus 8 is 4, 4 into 2 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16. So 18 minus 16 you get is 2. So the beta in Jensen's measure you have got is the data In Jensen's measure, you've got this. Jensen's measure, it is 1 and 2. Let's do the ranking now. This is 1, this is 2, these both are, will put 1. So this is 1 and this is 2. So we have the clear winner. When we interpret the results, you can see that fund ABC is performing very well, because when compared to Sharpe, Trainer and Jensen's measure, in all the three, the ranking is good. Okay, so this is one more problem. I'll just clear the board and then we'll see which problem are we going to solve next. It's better I write down like this. It's easy for me. Okay, so let's see what are the next problems companies. Okay, next is we'll be solving a problem that is, an old problem, but that's a different problem. December 2006, Jan 2007. So December 2006, Jan 2007, an old paper we are going to solve. 05 scheme. So December 2006, Jan 2007, 05 scheme. Question is 7B. Question is 7B. I'll read out the question for you. The following results were obtained from a study for a period of 6 months in 2000. Fund is given, RP is given, standard deviation P is given, beta is given. Birla advantage is just 25.38. The RP is 25.38. And Prudential ICICI, it is 36.28. Alliance Equity, it is 45.56. SAP 500 CNX, it is 36.74. RF is 9. Standard deviation of Birla advantage is 4. And Prudential ICICI, it is 6.86. And Alliance Equity standard deviation is 4.31. SAP 500 CNX, it is 3.69. Beta of Birla advantage is 0.23. Beta of Prudential ICICI is 0.52. Beta of Alliance Equity is 0.63. And beta of SAP 500 CNX is 1. They said use the input rank of the funds according to the predictive ability of the management. So here we have to do the predictive ability of the management. So first we have to do Sharpe, Trainer as usual, and for Jensen you have to do the predictive ability. So let's start with Sharpe's measure. So the formula is RP minus RF divided by standard deviation P. So first one is Birla advantage. Okay, so the Birla advantage is 25.38 minus RF is 9 divided by standard deviation is 4. Okay, let's calculate this. 25.38 minus 9 divided by 4. You get 4.095. So this is the answer. Next is ICICI Prudential. So Prudential ICICI, the written is 36.28 minus 9 divided by the standard deviation is 6.86. Okay, so we are going to simplify this. 36.28 minus 9 divided by 6.86. So that is 3.977. So this is the answer. And next is Alliance Equity. So Alliance Equity, it is 45.56. So 45.56 minus 9 divided by 4.31. 4.31. So 45.56 minus 9 divided by 4.31, you get as 8.5. 0.48. So this is the answer of Sharpe's index. In the same way, we have to do it for trainer's index. I'll rub this because there are 3 stocks. I'll not be able to fit there. So next is trainer's measure. I'll write down the formula for you all. Rp minus Rf divided by beta P. So first is the Birla advantage. So 25.38 minus 9, the beta is 0.23. So what's the answer? 25.38 minus 9 divided by 0.23. You get is 71.22. Okay. Next is ICICI Prudential. ICICI. Let's write 36.28 minus 9 divided by the beta is 0.52. Okay. So 36.28 minus 9 divided by 0.52, you get 52.46. This is the answer. And last one is Alliance Equity. Alliance Equity, that is 45.56 minus 9 divided by 0.63. That is 45.56 minus 9 divided by 0.63. You've got 58.03. So these are the answers. Okay. Now we again have to do Jensen's measure for this because they have asked predictive ability. Before doing Jensen's measure, let's put it this in the tabular form so that at the end it is easy for us to tabulate. I'll just rub this. Hope so you've understood. So this is trainer's measure. Then one more column will come, that is Jensen, and this is for Sharpe, that is 4.095, 3.977 and 8.48. This is Birla advantage, that is Prudential ICICI. Then you have Alliance Equity. So these are the funds. And this is Sharpe. And this is Jensen. So Jensen we need to calculate it. So let's calculate Jensen. Jensen measure. Jensen's measure, let's apply the formula. Rp minus Rf plus beta Rm minus Rf. So this is the formula. Let's start with first one, which is Birla advantage. So Birla advantage, it is 25.38 minus 9 plus beta is 0.23 and Rm is S&P 500 CNX. This is the market. Okay. So 36.74 is the market RM. Okay. Market return. So 36.74 minus 9, you get 27.74 into 0.23 plus 9, you get is 25.38 minus 15.38. Okay. So the difference is 10. The difference is 10. Right now? 25.38 minus 15.38. Yeah. 10. Here we have to calculate predictive ability. To calculate predictive ability, what you need to do is, it is the formula which we use is alpha p divided by beta. So for calculating predictive ability, it is alpha p divided by beta. So alpha p is the answer which we have got and beta is the current stock. So 10 divided by 0.23 is 43.48. So this is the final answer for Birla advantage. This is what you have to write. Whenever they ask predictive ability, you have to do alpha p divided by beta. Okay, so this is done. Let's substitute other values like this. Okay, let's go to the second one, which is Prudential ICICI. Okay, RP is 36.28. Okay, and beta is 5.2. Let's calculate. 36.74 minus 9, you get 27.74 into 0.52, you get 14.44 plus 9, you get 23.42. Okay, 36.28 minus 23.42, you get 12.86. So 12.86 is the answer. So which will be substituting here, and this is 0.52 divided by 0.52 is 24.73. So you get 24.73. Okay, this is of ICICI Prudential. In the same way, let's do it for Alliance. Alliance Equity. Alliance Equity, the return is 45.56 and the beta is 0.63. Okay, let's simplify this. 36.74 minus 9 into 0.63, you get 17.47 plus 9, you get 26.48. So 45.56 minus 26.48, you get 19.08. 19.08 divided by 0.63. Your answer is 30.28. This is the final answer which you get. So here we'll write 30.28. Okay. So now we have completed with the problem where we have calculated Sharpe, we have calculated Trainer, and we have also calculated Jensen along with predictive ability. Now we have to compare and give the results. For that we have to give the ranking. Let's give the ranking first. This is 1, 2 and this is 3, and in this it is 1, 2 and 3, and this is 1 and 2 and 3. So when you see the table, you can clearly say that Birla Advantage has got the advantage, right? So here according to Trainers and Jensen's measure, it has got the highest ranking. So Birla Advantage has got a good ranking when compared to other funds. So you have to invest in Birla Advantage. Okay, so hopefully you have understood the problems in this unit. Only if they ask predictive ability, we need to do this alpha divided by P, or else we can write the results of Jensen's directly, because they have asked the management's ability to predict. Okay, that's the reason we have done this, or else you can do Jensen and stop. Okay, hope so you are clear with the problems. This is a very important problem which will come to the exam. In this subject, it is 50% theory and 50% problem. You have to concentrate both on theory and problems. Theory is like a savior for you. It will save you from the problems which you have done wrong. Okay, you think that you have done right, but many a times it might be the individual series, discrete series confusion or anything like that. But most, if you have done the problems wrongly, theory will save you. So attend the theory, learn the theory, attend it in the exam, then also practice problems and try to solve it in the exam. Okay. All the best for your exams and do well. Thank you.